The movie begins with two drifters named Purvis and Buddy, who make a living by brutally murdering and robbing tourists, and do not feel ashamed of their heinous acts. Buddy usually advises his partner to cut all the 16 major veins in the neck, reducing the person's possibility of getting up again. One day, while killing a group of people, Purvis hears the sound of horses approaching the area. Suspecting danger, the two friends head their way to hide in a cave, where they come across a Native American burial ground. The place was already giving strange vibes when Buddy gets attacked and killed by unseen intruders, allowing Purvis to escape. 11 days later, Purvis is found digging a hole in the little village of Bright Hope to hide his possessions. He is spotted by Chicory, the town's elderly backup deputy, who alerts Sheriff Franklin Hunt about Purvis' suspicious behavior. Sheriff Hunt approaches the pub to confront Purvis for investigation. Already present in the tavern is John Bruder, a well-educated and notorious womanizer from the area who has killed hundreds of Indians in his lifetime. When asked about his name, Purvis calls himself Buddy to conceal his identity. However, being an expert, Sheriff compels Purvis to spit out the truth. When Purvis tries to escape, Sheriff Hunt shoots him in the leg and instructs Bruder to call the doctor. As Dr. Taylor is intoxicated, his assistant Samantha is called for help. While Samantha is treating her husband Arthur, whose leg has been injured by falling from a roof, Bruder knocks at the door and informs Samantha about the situation. Samantha leaves the house with Bruder and approaches the jail, where she sees Purvis lying on the bench in critical condition. As it is night, Hunt instructs Deputy Nick to stay with Samantha until she is done with the operation. Leaving Nick and Samantha in the jail, Chicory and Hunt head their way home for some rest. As Samantha will stay in the jail till morning, Hunt informs Arthur about it on his way home. At night, a stable boy named Buford hears a strange voice from his owner, Mr. Wallington's stable. Before he can do anything about the men roaming in the place, Buford gets brutally killed by them. The following day, Hunt learns that the stable boy has been murdered while Samantha, Nick, and Purvis have been kidnapped by some unknown men, presumably the Indians. When the village learns about the tragic incident, they all gather in the pub so they can investigate more about it. An Indian detective, Tall Trees, is called for help. After examining the arrow that Sheriff found in the jail, he concludes that the intruders are not Indians but cave dwellers known as troglodytes. These human beings are a spoiled bloodline of inbred animals who violate and eat their own mothers, but they don't devour Africans, which might be the reason why they didn't eat Buford. Somewhere in the northwest is a place called the Valley of Starving Men where troglodytes are said to live. As the area is 5 days from Bright Hope Village, the men must leave early to rescue the victims. Bruder and Chicory decide to accompany the sheriff and Arthur to the Valley of Starving Men. Hunt's wife, Lorna, advises her husband not to go because his duties also have limits. However, Hunt is adamant about helping Arthur and bringing his wife back. After packing food and first aid for the journey, the 4 men set off with their horses. When the group stays at a place to take some rest, Bruder surrounds the area with a bell wire that will inform them about an intruder or a wild animal. Arthur thinks that they might kill an innocent animal or man this way, but according to Bruder, any person that approaches the camp in the dark without identifying himself is a criminal. Arthur's leg gets critical because of swelling and infection as time passes. Leg's pain and the abduction of his wife make Arthur quite upset concerning Sheriff about his behavior. Arthur uses a tincture of opium against the sheriff's instructions to treat his leg. As Arthur can spill from the saddle after using the tincture, Hunt advises him to hand him the bottle. Chicory grabs Arthur's gun, compelling Arthur to give up the bottle to the sheriff. Before continuing his journey, Arthur apologizes to Chicory and Hunt for hollering at them. As Chicory has a surgery experience from the war, Hunt orders him to examine Arthur's leg. While Sheriff and Chicory discuss Arthur's condition, 2 Mexican guys approach nearby and try to ensure the group that they are harmless. However, instead of taking a risk, Bruder immediately kills the men against the sheriff's orders. At night, when the group is sleeping, a man silently attacks Bruder, but Arthur manages to shoot the guy before he can kill anyone. However, the intruder's friends have already taken the horses and have gone far away from their sight. Although the valley is at least a 2-day walk, the group decides to continue their journey. As Arthur has a swollen leg, he walks more slowly than the other men. Arthur advises other members to keep moving and not to worry about him as he will catch them later. After miles of walking, Arthur's leg gets in the way of reaching the cave. As Arthur cannot walk further, Chicory gives him a sedative and operates on his leg, which otherwise might have caused his demise if not treated. After leaving Arthur behind for rest, Hunt, Chicory, and Bruder head their way to the Valley of Starving Men. The group keeps walking and leaves a trail of rocks for Arthur to follow them. While looking at a bunch of valleys through a telescope, Brooder faces difficulty finding the Valley of Troglodytes. After following the footprints, the crew soon reaches the place where they get attacked by a bunch of troglodytes. During the combat, Brooder loses his hand while Hunt and Chicory get minor injuries. As Brooder is too weak to walk further, Hunt and Chicory instruct him to stay. Entering the valley, Sheriff Hunt is again assaulted by the human eaters until he is taken to the cave where troglodytes have kept Nick and Samantha. When Hunt and Chicory try to resist, Samantha advises them to enter the jail, otherwise they will get killed by the brutal man-eaters. As the men leave the cave for a moment, Hunt and Samantha talk about the situation. When Hunt inquires about her condition, Samantha responds that she is fine, but Nick is badly wounded. Suddenly, two cannibals enter the cave, take Nick out of the tiny jail, strip, scalp, and dissect him alive so they can eat him. Everybody there tries to stop them from eating Nick, but they are nothing compared to the robust and vicious man-eaters. All they can do is scream and cry about their fate. Their pain can never be felt by anyone like us who is never trapped and placed far away from the town surrounded by 12 vicious cannibals who only want to tear you apart and eat. Samantha inquires Hunt about Arthur, to which Hunt responds that he has come along but got injured a day ago, compelling him to stay behind. But Chicory assures Samantha that Arthur will come because they have left trails for him. When Samantha learns that her husband will reach the cave soon, she bursts out her anger on Sheriff for being stupid. According to Samantha, why would anyone help an injured guy to get to a place filled with brutal cannibals? Hunt claims that he has ordered Arthur not to follow, but Arthur is too determined to follow his orders. While Samantha is crying, Hunt inquires about the number of cannibals in the clan. According to Samantha, there might be 12 males and 2 pregnant females who are blind cripples. Hearing this, Hunt devises a plan to poison the troglodytes with a tincture of opium which he has taken from Arthur. On the other hand, Arthur regains consciousness after a day and gets up to continue the journey. Although his leg has been recently operated, it cannot stop him from rescuing the love of his life. Following the trails, Arthur approaches the valley but gets too weak to walk more. Considering his weakness, Arthur lays down on the ground to regain his energy. Meanwhile, when the cannibals enter the cave again, Hunt and Chicory pretend to fight for the liquid, which is actually the tincture of opium. One of the troglodytes threatens Hunt to give him the bottle, which according to him, might be tasty liquor. After taking the bottles, all 3 men drink the liquid and depart from the cave. As Samantha is aware of the medicine, she thinks that the man with the wolf skull will lose consciousness for an extended time, while the second one will die soon. However, as the third man has taken a small quantity, he will not be affected. On the other hand, while Arthur is asleep, 2 cannibals attack him, but Arthur manages to kill them. After killing the second one, he finds an object stuck in his windpipe. After he cuts one out, he discovers that the thing resembles a whistle, which might be why all the cannibals had a weird howling sound. To draw another tribesman toward him, Arthur blows the blooded whistle and kills him. Arthur has reached close to the cave where his friends and wife are kept. Soon, the chief of the tribe learns about Hunt's trick after 2 of his men had been poisoned. He drags Hunt from his cell with the help of another tribesman, cuts a hole in his stomach, and inserts a heated opium flask into the incision. The commander then shoots Hunt in the arm and stomach with Hunt's gun. As one of the cannibals gets distracted by a whistle, Hunt takes the opportunity and stabs a bone tomahawk on the chief's foot. Before he can attack Hunt again, Arthur approaches just in time and fires a shot at him. Although Hunt is badly wounded, he gets up with the tomahawk and cuts the chief's throat until it is separated from his body. After Arthur releases Samantha and Chicory, Hunt advises them to leave without him. Although he is fatally injured, he intends to finish the cannibals to stop them from scaring Bright Hope. With a gun in his hand, Hunt is ready to murder the remaining troglodytes when they return. As the 3 exits the cave, they come upon 2 pregnant women who have lost all their limbs and are blind, as described by Samantha. While the survivors walk away from the cave, they hear 3 gunshots, suggesting that Sheriff Hunt may have murdered the tribe's surviving males. Chicory smiles as he acknowledges the gunfire, but deep down, he is broken after losing his beloved friend. The movie ends with 3 survivors setting off on their trek back home when they are worn out, injured, and short on supplies. Overall, Bone Tomahawk is an excellent movie with a horror yet funny storyline, making it even more interesting to watch. The directors have chosen to introduce Chicory's character in the film, which not only lightens the mood but also gives us the lesson of how to support your best friend in every field of life. On the other hand, Sheriff Hunt's character makes us realize that your duty should be your first and foremost priority, no matter what happens. Hunt risked his life only to save his villagers from the brutal cannibals that would otherwise vanish their race. Lastly is Arthur's determination to save his wife from death. It shows us not to stay back when our family needs us, but to strive hard until we see the smile on her face again. Thanks for watching another Essential Recap. Please don't forget to leave a like and subscribe if you want to see more Halloween movies.